airwaves in your market become more and more crowded. It's time to break it open and really stand out. Broken Air. It's here.
On Mainland 98.3 FM, the sound of Lagos.
Knowledge is power. Information is key. And that is why we aim to unlock the doors of opinion, unveiling the stories that need to be told. The Morning Express on Mainland 98.3 FM from 5 a.m. to 11 a.m. as we invoke the thought-provoking discussion, tackle the tough questions, challenge assumption.
Good morning.
Welcome back and thank you for joining us. This is still the Morning Express on Mainland 98.3 FM. We had reviewed the papers, The Guardian, Punch, and a few stories from the Vanguard, although most of these stories were replicated, but we were able to talk about the core stories that the papers had reported the day. Today, on Mainland Focus, we're focusing on just one particular story because we believe it is extensive. Will be a lot to say about it, and we want your focus to primarily be on that subject matter. And we're talking about the removal of subsidy and day-to-day of the average Nigerian, and who primarily do we hold responsible. We're looking at this very morning. If you're just joining us for the first time, again, the whole bar regarding what you have watched on our streaming platform. We're streaming Mainland Focus live as well, so do join the live stream. Use the live chat option. Tell us what you think. You can send a message. It's majorly for those who maybe are not able to call. The lines are jammed, they're out of the country, but they would like to participate. Send a message on Facebook at 3600410. If you'd like to send a text message, or send in your message to 0913-60000430. Trillion naira subsidy savings state have failed to cushion hardship and hunger, and they're taking us back to the first policy of this administration. Right there on the inauguration ground, the President Bola Ahmed Tinubu said subsidy is gone. As a matter of fact, we found out later that it wasn't even part of his inauguration speech. It was of the sudden removal of fuel subsidy. What will be the repercussion on our economy? How would we bounce back? And this administration trying to should I call it the artificial, help it gain ground against the dollar, and all of these artificial mechanisms that have been used. And so the question is, have any of these actually been useful? Let's talk specifics at this time. With the removal of subsidy, we've had a number of depots that have had to shut down. As a matter of fact, the World Bank is saying that more Nigerians may actually slip into poverty. This is because, for example, following subsidy removal, there was a rebasing. Inflation went from almost 34% to 27% because of this rebasing. And the World Bank says that it's now very hard to even calculate some of the metrics for inflation. They don't really understand how to properly situate our inflation figures, because the government says we've been able to save 7 trillion naira. We've increased our FAC allocation to almost 15 trillion, which means that states got almost 15 trillion naira, an upgrade from the 10 trillion more money as a result of this subsidy removal. But your people seem to be poorer. There's also arguments that with this conditional cash transfer seem invincible, because people continue to go poorer and poorer by the day, maybe because of relationship, favoritism. There's analysis that have followed the removal of subsidy and why the monies that have been saved is not reflecting in the life of the average. Has debunked that. Nobody has said they're lying. They've saved more money, they've made more money. There's the tax policy that is on ground, increase of tax, tariff have been increased. Hold the center responsible, or do we hold the states responsible, because they are the ones that seem to be getting the bulk of this savings that the federal government has less? Why are we giving more for less? That is the question we're asking. What are your thoughts about the provisions of fuel subsidy removal? 0913-60000410, that's the number, and WhatsApp is 0913-60000430. We're still streaming live on Facebook and on YouTube, so welcome, sir. Good morning to you.
I'm calling you from Mapoda. Movers, removing it also is a scam. You understand? I don't know, maybe those who remove it are also in the life of an average Nigerian. We only hear billions, trillions on the pages of newspaper without any meaningful effect.
So who exactly is to be held responsible for that?
Government number one, because they removed it, and they according to them, they said more governors are now getting more money. You understand? And after a definitely when they leave office, they travel abroad to act. So,
oh, do make it back. I apologize. I was just about to take that call. Call back, please. Hello.
Hello, good morning.
Morning to you, sir.
Yeah, my name is Peter Usipo. I'm calling from Abanajene.
Yes.
I think we should blame the state governors because a lot of money is not being given to them after the withdrawal of subsidy. So, and they are not making good use of such money to citizens, to their own generated revenue.
Yeah.
But in fact, most of them even lack the capacity to generate revenue in their place. They only depend on the money they get from Abuja, that is tax. So, and more money is being given to them. However, I would say that the withdrawal of subsidy, has achieved its aim and what are these two major aims. The total deregulation of the oil sector and of course, full implementation of the Petroleum Industry Act.
The report says otherwise. The report says that sector has not been fully deregulated. That's what the Guardian tells us this morning.
Yes, it has been deregulated, only that internally our NNPC, private petroleum companies may also come up on stream in future. The way I'm saying it.
Right.
So, at the initial, the subsidy was benefiting the rich against the poor.
Right.
But now, it's supposed to be the poor that is supposed to be benefiting from, but there are some internal saboteurs in the economy that are making sure that this does not go to the poor.
Thank you very much for calling. We appreciate you for your insight. It's just so that we have a name to that particular allegation. Energy economist Ademola Adigun is the one who has said that the petroleum sector is not fully deregulated despite subsidy removal. There's also the notion that the removal of subsidy is not complete removal. There was a reduction rather than a removal. These are the positions of this energy economics who continues to use our reality as the marker, or should I say as the foundation for the claims that he has made. The question is very simple. More money has been made available by the center. None of the governors have come out to deny it, that they're getting more money. There's more money available since the removal of fuel subsidy, 2.9 billion released for the refineries to work. Poorer. Why? Do you blame the federal government because they did not see to the proper administration of these funds that they made available to the governors? Or should we blame the governors themselves? When there's separation of power, so there's only so much the federal government can do. There's only so much they can do in terms of impeding on the operations of the state government. What are your thoughts? Hello.
Yes, Samuel calling from Ojodu.
Welcome.
Yes, quickly, you are asking that the removal of the subsidy has not achieved its aim. The blame should go to the doorstep of a single plan. You understand? I understand that very soon now and people are getting poorer. I told you not to make Nigeria wealthy. He came to make Nigeria bankrupt.
Manifesto. He didn't put it in the manifesto that I wanted to make us bankrupt.
I am telling you that is the agenda. You can see. Okay, why is it that why is it that you are making more money and people are getting poorer? That means your policy is making people poorer.
Okay.
That's the definition of it. You understand? There is no insincerity. There is no sincerity of purpose.
Right.
That this is what we want to do.
Thank you.
You understand? That is why you see all this tax from every angle.
All right, thank you very much. We appreciate you. Please, I implore us to what is responsible for these policies and why they've not been able to yield positive results in terms of the welfare of the Nigerian people. More money was made available, but people are poorer. How do we reconcile these two concepts? Hello.
Good morning.
Good morning to you, sir.
Yeah, well, God bless you.
You too.
I'm my friend Fuad.
As well.
Okay. This is Barrister Peter Oko. I'm calling from Maryland.
Yes.
Yes. Especially this APC government. They are very, very insincere with Nigerian public. because they know that most of these programs, I don't see why you say subsidy is gone, and yet there is no evidence.
Conditional cash transfer.
Yeah, exactly. No evidence. No evidence. And my message to know, because Nigerian politicians are very sincere. So we need a very vibrant press.
Good chance as well. You have a great day. Thank you for calling. Hello. Sir, the volume on your radio.
Problem concerning the first subsidy removal. Like some of the governors said in the past that the money they are getting, although is large or big, it was before. So it's not about the quantity of money they are getting. It's about what is the value of the money they are getting. Thank you very much.
All right. Many thanks. Hello.
Yeah. First of all, I want to ask, who is the Minister of Petroleum? Hello?
Well, with you, I would assume that's a rhetorical question.
Yeah. The Minister of Petroleum, which is which the government to use the money to do, is your policy. Was it okay? Did they help the so-called government to use the money to better the life of the money for? You said you will use the money to build refineries. Did we have any refineries as in now? It means you yourself are still, and people are still saying that we should blame the government. Blame the government for what? What are you doing? It means that you are just there for nothing. So every boss should all the whole blame to go to the federal government. So when we call the so-called callers that will be saying that we should blame the government, he means the Minister of Petroleum, which is the president himself. What has he said?
Yes, how are you, Madam Ife? Good morning.
Good morning. How was the weekend?
Fine, thank you.
Ooh. Why subsidy? You see this, I thought
because the CBN is not giving them information regarding the remittances. So we don't even know if the remittances has happened. Because last we heard, CBN said they're doing a New York.
If they're giving them money directly, at least between this Ogun and Lagos State that we shut off, it could have been in a mass hospital, the equipment of what do you call it, clinics, local government clinics, all those things could have been taking place now. And the governor that, some of them are using it, like this Ogun State governor, I'm saying some things that he's doing, is, put eye in that fuel subsidy. They'll be telling you stories. That's it.
Thank you very much for calling, ma'am. You have a wonderful day. Morning to you. Hello. Hello? Connection issue. I might as well just read messages. We have here, good morning, Mainland FM. President Tinubu giving more money to the state governors is just legalizing corruption, and I still learn from him. Engineer Boni from Alimosho. All right. We have here, good morning, Sage and Fuad. Ifedolakwa from Ipaja. Do you know what it means? I was joking. Subsidy removal says there's quite a lot. Probing Mele Kyari might not happen simply because he was government should be blamed because they give more money to state governors without monitoring how the money is being spent. So the wayo surrounding the subsidy removal, it is just like unqualified mechanism to do anything meaningful with it. As for me, the president is to be held responsible because the governors is the question mark. So how much power does the president to monitor these governors? There's the Auditor General who is fund is happening, and the independent corrupt practices as well that's supposed to look through their books once a while and check individuals who are using public fund for personal endeavors, explain what they're doing with the money that has been given to them. Is 410, I beg your pardon, 0913-6000-410. That's for calls. For WhatsApp and text message.
Oh, good morning, Sage.
Good morning to you, sir.
My name is Nokia, calling from Juelekba this morning. Hi. I don't see any policy where the government that is hearing any results. You as you see, but you get the mechanic. The policy that the government bring is harsh because we did just say I was somebody. Because this government, they know how to deceive people. And we were talking, the guy said, he said, does that mean Buhari was importing rice somewhere? Okay, Buhari was importing rice to be said, but why Tinubu not going to go and import? To bring to the Tinubu government will bring to this country. Thank you.
All right then. Hello. Hello.
My own contribution is that the money the government is bringing it doesn't have any value any longer. I mean, the value of most the masses are the one losing out of this whole game stuff. So we're expecting the governments to do much. They can't do much because if you should check it, the government or even the federal government.
So what would you expect? More money be given to the governors, or IGR should increase? What should be done?
No. What as in
basically
that contractors need more money.
Leo Ozoma, who says, good morning, Lady Sage. It's not this government has been having from Isolo. Thank you very much, government. But the process was wrong. There was no proper implementation. But the government of the day was the PDP. Since the PDP is not ready to sack Wike, let all of them be ready to dance to Wike's music. Thank you very much. The second part is not the focus of the day, but we appreciate you for your insight. Hello. Nice to have you. Go ahead, please.
You see, this subsidy remover, really, the money, since they have removed this money, have continued to bring more suffering in this country. And that is even why many Nigerians now are collaborating to make sure 2 trillion per month. They will still be wasting it. Because if we look into our budget, we will see that at the end of the year, there's no account on that budget. And that is what it's about. Because when we are talking like that, is educating people. People supposed to have.
Oh, I was just telling you to wrap up your thoughts. Do you know how I know it's you? Because of the noise.
What is it?
Never mind. Please go ahead.
Well, you know, when we are thinking of before, and something taken away, floating off now, something reversed. If it was wisely spent by the governor, by the federal government, they should go back to the land. If we can feed ourselves, all of them are not the same. Some governors are performing, some may not be not performing dictate for a state. That's how I say. But for me, I just want both the president, the governor, the transport be there. So what is I? If you go like that, good morning to you, my direct speech.
And a great morning to you too as well, Prince Wise. Hello, morning to you.
Hello, people. Subsidy is a 100% welcome. Let me tell you, I'm in the field. Subsidy, people are on the so it's a welcome decision. By and large, let people remove sentiment. Is it today Nigeria has been hungry? Is it Tinubu that bring the hunger to this country? Look, we need to remove sentiment from whatever we are saying.
Let's talk about sentiment, Alhaji Suba. Hold on a second. So I know the problems and I'm ready to solve it. So being sentimental is you saying that he's not the one.
Yeah, we have Nigerian Airways, Nigerian Portals, so many things there. People mess it up. Look at the gang behind our French people are innocent of duty. The downfall of our economy. Let's remove sentiment from this issue. You understand? And Rome is not built in a day. Something that's spoiled is not going to take within it. This is the fact. You understand? That is the fundamental truth.
You haven't spoken to the
people that is opposition
of the day has been given to governors that has not translated to better living. Who do we hold responsible for this misappropriation, so to speak? That's the focus.
Look at the governors. They are not helping the issue. So what is the people giving a kind of media awareness to whatever they are doing. So these are the kind of leaders we are talking about. They are only there.
Good morning, madam.
Yes, morning to you. All right.
So it's very unfortunate still with impunity. Right. The removal of subsidy on petrol, what effect, what impact has it had on the markets in terms of welfare? So we cannot be deceiving ourselves. But these are as our problems in this country. It's not feeling the impact of what we are feeling.
If he supports the president, it's his. Let's please don't speak about people. Thank you very much. Just because you disagree with a person does not mean his perspective on things are accurate or inaccurate. That's not how it's acceptable to you. That's not how it works. All right, it's his opinion. But eradicate the people. Well, when I say eradicate, it sounds rather crude. But why in the city? You have goods that you sell on the street, and you realize that thugs always come in the morning to steal from you. That's the understanding I'm trying to get. This is not an opinion, this is a question, because I'm trying to use and illustrate. Why not deal with the people who are involved in this corrupt practice rather than outrightly remove across all platforms at the same pace? We have Benjamin Ise, who says that good morning, Sage. Good morning. To poverty, to unemployment and insecurity. To me, President Tinubu is making more money for the politicians to share at the expense of the suffering Nigerian masses. President Tinubu is to be blamed. He did not even negotiate with the Nigerian people before he removed it. As if the suffering on the masses is not enough, he increased the electricity tariff. Amko says, good morning, Sage. The more money received by the governors has not translated to the improved standard of living of the John Benjamin says, good morning, Sage and Fuad. Our economic team, he just went on stage to say that subsidy was gone. And let me do to Facebook and then I'll go back to the phones, okay? We have good morning, Madam Sage and Fuad. Collecting the money from the president. They are not to be blamed as well in the sense that the president created an avenue for them to lavish the money without being checked. Did Mr. President find out how they spent the money? Governors will use the money for election come 2027, according to Mr. Babalola Williams from other amenities that would directly affect Nigerians than giving governors more money. Mainland focus on Mainland 98.3 FM. What is your name? Good morning to you.
Straight good morning. The answer the question. I like the answer this question. And it pains me that look, if we had a president who comes in and says to us that he knows, he would have said, let's just all this money, and you're not asking them what are they doing with the money. You should do better than this now. You should do. This is not what they promised our friend from Saboni, but this is not what they promised them. You should just do better than this and stop. Let us not even call in and complain every blessed day. You should do better than this now.
All right.
That's causing problem in this country.
You have a beautiful morning. Good morning, sir. I can hear you. Your name, please.
Yeah. My name is Martha.
All right.
You see, the challenge we have right now is that the president was not prepared for governor. He just removed subsidy. That's why he himself just came up looking at the implications. And some people will come on air, possibly gone, without bringing in solution to the problem. And someone is saying that you should not blame you. Make that money for 2020, including the government, why is not asking? He's funding them so that they can use that money for 2027 election.
We don't know that. We don't know that. To play devil's advocate, so far so good that there are the center claims that there's the conditional cash transfer has been made available. These are some of the policies that they say are supposed to cushion where you go every Sunday to buy food at a cheaper rate, and these are some of the things they said they had put in place to cushion the effect of the subsidy. But the Guardian report this morning tells on a daily basis, people still spend a ton of money on food, a ton of money on rent, a ton of money on their day-to-day. They pay more taxes. Parents' life has increased in terms of spending, in terms of expenditure. But the center has said we have made provisions for you so that it has not resulted in any form of respite for the average Nigerian person. And so the question is who treated evenly to the governors, but somehow these states continue to wallow in poverty. So is it that the caller said that it is the value of the money? Because it might sound much. We might hear, 15 trillion has been distributed to states, but that 15 trillion has lesser value than the millions they were received. Do you agree with this notion? Do you have a superior argument, or there's an angle you would like us to explore? Why have we not been able to see the impact of this much money that has been saved since the removal of fuel subsidies? 0913-6000-410 is the phone line. Text message WhatsApp 0913-600 on internet phone 0913-6000430. Hello.
Hello, Babalola. Good morning.
Good morning to you, sir.
How are you?
I'm well, thank you.
All right. Peter Monse is my name from Shomolu.
Yes.
Now, you mentioned something earlier, which is what this Tinubu was campaigning with. They were calling them subsidy thieves. Now, you identify that some people were stealing the subsidy. You come and carry, the property of the owners. The oil is our own. The money is our own. You come and remove it, and then you make so much money, and it is just the politicians that are benefiting from it now. Ask me, where do they have the money that they are using? I don't know whether it is not in the condition that the national poor, you can't buy bread, you can't buy groundnut, you can't buy beans, you can't buy rice, you can't buy governors, how do you use the money of the people? What an irony. Nigerians,
good morning.
God is on our side, oh. I know we will make amends. Have a beautiful day.
You have a better one. Hello. Welcome.
All the whole blame is on Tinubu because he don't have the blame when he was accusing all the former presidents. When he said when he was making promises here and there. And today now, you see, subsidy is stealing from the poor to enrich the rich. That's what subsidy transit bus is. Why are we not subsidizing electricity? Why are we having that 15 trillion naira Lagos, you call it inter-road, interstate road? They are terrible. Very terrible. Very, very terrible. These are terrible. You go to Benue State, to Abuja, the same thing.
Thank you.
And then we are...
Hello. All right. I think we missed that. We have here. Good morning to you. In threatening that this government brought the country's economy into rubbles within 2 years. But reasons why this country is in the state it is. Also on the dollars, lack of transparency on economic policies and corruption practices by people in power. And finally, a lab in exporting at a high rate in dollars, and the West will be paying more in dollars. But as you know, the West has tied our hands with our borrowing. Hence, we cannot even use our resources to improve our standard of living. Instead, the West will give us money to distribute to Nigerians. Governor Zulum called for cooperation between federal and state to curb the insecurity in the country. He gave the northern governors call. Send me a WhatsApp message. I don't mind. I'm open to that. If you think that maybe putting your opinion via writing will be difficult for you, I don't mind you sending me a WhatsApp message so we can play. It's a complete waste of time. Hence, it was never meant to benefit the masses, but to suffocate them for the selfish interest of the government in power. The truth of the matter is that we have corrupt people in power. Nigerians should begin to brace up for the challenge ahead. Victor Aloigboke from Ikeja is the author of that message. Let's not attack people. Good morning, Sage and the entire mainland FM. Madam Sage, you asked if the president has the power to interrogate or probe. If he has the power, let me just put it that way. If he has the power to suspend or remove a democratically elected governor, he can urge from Ajigunle Akpapa, Lagos, with a message. We have here, hello Mainland FM. It's unfortunate to see the direction that the government is heading. The several policies that this administration has introduced has not yielded any positive result and is not even ready to accept the Nigeria's economy in this comatose. There's nothing much that the governors can do with this increase in allocation because the value is 300 naira to a litre. Believe me, the prices of food items and others will reduce drastically. Good morning to you.
This is Okangelina.
Welcome.
You see, they are telling us embezzlement of that subsidy. I don't know what embezzling is. So let me even ask you, what is the rocket science in publishing how much you have collected as subsidy and then telling us this is what we have used to do what? And they are not doing anything. It means they are selling it for campaign. And then you come back, how do you call that thing? For when you increase school fees and then you go is very high, and you say you are giving every the cash transfer, they say they are giving 90.
Hello.
Hello, good morning, ma'am.
Hello, good morning. Okay, let me just take that opportunity to say thank you to their endorser. God help us, Steve from Benin. Okay, they're happy to say their endorser is the giver. I think that's what you mean.
John from Ogba.
Welcome.
Wow. Good morning. Where we are, like the last caller said, you remove subsidies. It is we that we have to carry the front of the problem. Why is it that we, the masses, no transparency? The money there is no check and balances, and you can see where we are now. Is the economy better off for it? The answer is he has political sagacity, but the willingness to do, I don't know what is it that is stopping him to do that which is right and that will benefit the people. Do better. Good morning.
All right. Good morning to you. Hello. Welcome.
See, I want to go a different way. I will put the blame on Nigerians.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying?
Why?
There was this country, was it Finland some years ago? When the present president now was campaigning, you will know that this man didn't have a blueprint. There was one particular northern lady She said when the president when he was campaigning, she was summoned to meet him in London. She said he was not to gain power. That is just it. Because if he had a blueprint, you would have known that there must be proper palliative measures and you keep the people abreast of information time to time so that people will know what you are doing. So, you
messages, please. Good morning, Mainland FM crew. The negative impact of the fuel subsidy must be shored up like 500 naira to $1. Else, the price of goods cannot reduce. The president was a two-term governor. He knew the life and spending patterns of governors. So to better the lives of ordinary Nigerians, the federal government did not have to share the fuel subsidy removal proceeds. Abacha only increased fuel price, yet he stabilized the PTF. Even as a military government, why shouldn't a democratic government, especially Tinubu's regime, do better? After all, they said he's a removal of subsidy. Permit me to use the words of Tinubu at the APC summit. This is the game. Nigerians have been reduced to nothing under 2 years by this propaganda that we're living in self-defeat. Benefit of subsidy removal call. Benefit of... Good morning.
Good morning. Ajibola calling from Nicola.
Thank you.
Yes, everybody is entitled to his opinion. See, it is something very simple. There is nothing logical about to say some group of people are benefiting from subsidy and they are so powerful that you people and you are ready to punish over 200 million masses getting a phone for some wife and you take it to a retailer and the retailer spoil it within 2 days. 2 years is more than enough to do not crash the economy to zero. Tinubu cannot improve the economy between 2 years, but it can talk with part so that we know that we are able supporting this person with sense. Not just come on radio.
Yes, good morning to you, sir.
Good morning. Whether the president or the executive has the power, CPC. Is it the head was appointed by the president and they are reporting to him? That is one. The second thing I want to say is that it's corrupt, and he knows. And all the people that surrendered into is corrupt.
Okay.
So
these are okay. Of course, I'll just finish up with the messages that we'll see. The billions received today is equivalent to millions of yesterday. Tʀᴇɪᴅs from Agbara sent that particular message. We have here, good morning. It has been ruled. Okay, there from Fᴜᴜ. Thank you very much. We have a message here. Good morning. The fuel subsidy removal is a disaster. It wasn't well thought out and the implementation was hasty. A maker sent that message. We also have here, good morning to you. That's all you said. You just said good morning. Okay. Thank you very much. We appreciate you for your insight. Well, as we're starting to wrap up this conversation, let's also be reminded, very excited about it. Thank you to everyone who has registered so far. Thank you to everyone who has paid. There's almost 100 children that were expected on that day in the pilot edition. So we're promising you fun. Don't forget, Mama Rainbow will be there. Gloria Young will be there. There will be a bouncing castle, face painting. There will be food. There would also be vendors who be selling snacks, children's toys, amongst other things, and performance. Tomorrow, we would give you the topic for the debate. We're only taking 2 children to debate live on air because we're trying to maximize time. So by tomorrow, we would start announcing the topic of the debate on air so your children can prepare for the debate that would involve in the debate. We'll give you the topics tomorrow so you can start preparing. We will select those that will participate by a ballot system so that we can choose those who participate in the debate for their kids, and kids can win gifts for their parents. There's a lot of games that are coming your way. So don't forget, on the 31st party, if there's any additional information before the end of the advantage of it. Okay, it's a message that I cannot reach. Well, thank you very much for your time. International stories tell you what's going on outside the country, some of the decisions that have been made within the international space, and the effect that they have. 98.3 blood pressure and all these questions would answer for you